Hey everyone, it's Tracy here. I have a new Know How Friday video. It's kind of a new series that I decided to do and get on a schedule with my videos. But I'm going to be using the two stamp sets from Sweet Stamp Shop. I'm going to start with this piece of Distress watercolor paper from Tim Holtz. And then I have the curved edge die from Simon Says Stamp. And I'm just going to place that towards the bottom. I'm going to cut about like 1.5 inches off from that. So I'll go ahead and tape that down with a piece of washi tape, and then I'm just going to run it through my Cuttlebug. You can use any cutting machine with these dies. And then I will take that off and remove the tape. And now it's time to create my background with that. So I'm going to be using two colors of Distress inks. I have the Warren Lipstick and the Spun Sugar. So I'm just going to put a little bit of each of those onto my craft sheet. And then I have a paintbrush with water. You could use a water brush too if you wanted, but I just have a plain paintbrush. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of water to that just so that it flows nicely, I guess you could say, and it's kind of the darker color. And then I will add some water to my spun sugar and kind of add that in there. Now this is a good way to create a watercolor look with your Distress inks instead of going out and buying a set of watercolors. But you could do this with your watercolors if you have those instead of Distress inks. So I'll just go ahead and cover the whole background with the two colors of pinks. And if you want the Warren Lipstick a little bit darker, you can just add a little bit less water, and then it'll be a more noticeable difference between the two colors. So when I'm done doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and take my heat tool to dry it completely. You can let it air dry if you want, but I just don't have any patience, so I prefer to use my heat tool. And then I'm just creating a few splatters on the background, as you can see by tapping the paintbrush. Alright, so I have this cute little skunk set from the Sweet Stamp Shop, and this is going to be used for my background. I'm not even going to be using the skunk at all, but I have the little flower from that set. And then I'm going to take, was going to take the lightest color, but it didn't really show, so I'm actually going to use the Warren Lipstick and just stamp a few of those flowers all around my background. Alright, so I finished the background, and now it's time to work on my images. So I'm going to take the koala set, and I'm going to stamp both the big koala and the little BB koala with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I'm stamping these on a piece of Coordinations 110-pound cardstock. I'm going to be coloring them in with Copic markers. Alright, so the Copics I'm going to be using are the W1, 3, and 5. So I'm going to start with the lightest one, which is the W1, and I'm just going to color in the entire top part of the koala bear. And then I'll take the W3 and just add that into like the shadow where the natural shadows would kind of be on the koala, like in the creases of its arms and then up by its ears. Now the difference between the W and the C is W is the warm gray and the C is the cool gray. So I like using the warm gray for like animals and stuff more than I do the C's. And then I'll take the W5 and just go over kind of those spots that I did with the W3, only just a little bit less, just so that some of the W3 does still show. And then I'll go over that again with the W3, and then I'll go over the entire thing again with the W1 marker. And this just helps all those colors blend together just by kind of going over each other with them. It just makes them blend, and it doesn't look like you actually colored it. There's no lines or anything like that, which is the cool thing about Copic markers. Alright, so when I'm done coloring that in, then I'm going to go ahead and color in his little feet. And then I'm going to color in the belly, his tummy part, with the R20, which is a light pink color. And then I'll go in with the R85 and just kind of outline around the outside of the belly part. And then I'll go back in with my lighter one, the R20, and just blend both of those two colors together. And then I'm also going to use the R20 to color in the bottoms of his feet, or her feet. And then do a little bit of shading with the R85. And then I'm going to color the little one the exact same way, so you can just color that in. And then I cut a fussy cut around them with the white border. So I took this piece of pattern paper from My Mind's Eye. It's the black or gray and white polka dot, and I'm just cutting that down to fit onto my A2 size card base, which is going to be pink. And then I'll go ahead and adhere that down. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of this May Arts natural twine, and I have two pieces of it, and I'm just going to tape each end onto the back of my watercolored paper. I just find it's easier doing this than to tie bows or anything, or to tie an actual bow around it. It's kind of the cheater way, but it's much easier. Alright, then I cut a little bit extra, and then I'm going to tie the bow on the right hand side of that. And you can see how it's easier to tie your bows because then your string is not moving or anything like that, and you don't need anybody's finger to hold it down for you. I'll go ahead and trim that extra ends off that twine, and then I'm just going to adhere that down onto my card base. Alrighty, so now I can adhere my koalas onto there. I'm using some small 3D foam squares from Best Creation. And I'll just adhere both of those onto the left-hand side of that. And now it is time to add my sentiment. So this comes from the same koala set. And I originally stamped it onto the card, as you could see, but I didn't get them lined up quite right. So I'm just going to take a piece of dark gray cardstock and stamp my sentiment on that, and then put it right over the other one that I did. Just kind of fix my mistake there. Alright, my last step is to add some of these enamel dots. These are from Studio Calico. They are like a reddish dark pink color and then a lighter pink. And I'm just going to kind of scatter those all along my card front by the sentiment, and then some by the bow and koala bears. I always like to group them in kind of twos or threes, and then you want to create like the triangle look by putting them in 3 different areas. I just find that's easiest and that's what looks best to me. Alright, so that is my finished card for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out these 3 videos that I have linked for you below. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye.